Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome tonight Clash Royale Week 6. I'm Ampulio. I'm here with my co-caster, Dr. Watson. And, we're sponsored by Unite Students at Logitech G and Twitch Student. And, Dr. Watson, how are you this evening?
I am doing amazingly, and it's good to be back. Good to have some really great Clash Royale content. Really looking forward to it tonight as we move in very close to the final now, aren't we? It's all heating up in these early stages, in these late stages of the game even.
Yeah. We only got obviously this week of points, and then next week, and then the week after, which we will be back to cast, is going to be the playoffs. So it's certainly heating up and getting very intense.
I know, it's flown past, hasn't it? You know, we only just began, it feels like, and here we are. It's almost all over. After last week's amazing displays of some just really great games, SoberBro did take it after a climactic final fight against JJ Legend with fireworks and lots of bombs. There were lots of bombs. But Chocoholic is still in the lead on points overall. The points, of course, being awarded for how well you do in the tournament from each week on week. And until, of course, that final week, deciding the ranking and who even gets into those lucky 8 contenders to that final game. He's still now pretty safely in the lead after only a third place finish. But, you know, SoberBro's on his heels, so he needs to be careful. And there's still some consistent performances from Will, keeping him in a solid 4th place. Still yet to see him do anything really exciting. 4th and 5th and 3rd have been his consistent plays. Let's hope we get something slightly more out of him tonight. Well, indeed, he is here.
I mean, I believe, is he here? I believe he's here.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Had me worried for a second. We always refer to
match
last
one.
season.
He's in the first match we're broadcasting tonight, so we should probably know he's there.
I'd hope so. We said about him previous weeks that he's just kind of been up and down, been winning games that perhaps he shouldn't, and then losing games perhaps he shouldn't. But last season, I think pretty much throughout the entirety of it, he wasn't too flashy, and then he came and won the playoffs. So as long as he qualifies, which is pretty much pretty much guaranteed for him at this point, then I wouldn't worry too much about his form. But I think you said about JJ Legend. Obviously, he's been a late addition, and I think he's pretty much guaranteed at this point as well. Again, in terms of points, but it's certainly interesting to see how well he can do in terms of seeding with points, and if he consistently puts in high ranks.
Yeah, it's very impressive. You get to turn up for 2 weeks, put in a 2nd and a 1st, and he's already doing amazingly well. And yeah, he's definitely guaranteed a place in that final playoff. But he will be wanting to get a slightly better rank where he is, because otherwise he'll be up against. I mean, it's the final 8. They're all the big guys of the Newell, but he will be up against a harder opponent straight away. So we have got the bans coming in for the first game. Will has banned Fireball. As you know, I'm a big fan of the bans for Fireball, a really solid card to ban. And SoberBro has banned the Inferno Dragon, so I expect to see something big and beefy out of him.
Yeah, we certainly will. I think the one thing that we've seen quite consistently used is the balloon, either perhaps with the Lava Hound or not. And if it's placed perfectly well, then it can just basically win the game for them. And especially, I think we saw against Will, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? I think whoever he was playing against held the balloon, didn't use it, and then right at the end dropped it and won that game. And well, we'll have to see if it's not going to be used in this game. As we said, it has been banned. We'll have to see what's brought out instead. As early on, we are seeing the Barbarian Barrel and the Goblin Cage both in use, and we've seen quite a lot of use throughout this season so far.
Well, yeah, they're definitely the on-brand cards at the moment as the Flying Machine makes its way across. Another card we've seen a lot of, so much we now have 2 of them. I imagine SoberBro's slightly annoyed about that cage placement coming in far too late to clean up the barrel, as we see yet another cage go down. This is already looking very similar decks, while SoberBro going for those Skeleton Dragons. Slightly weaker than their Baby Skeleton counterpart, but there is 2 of them, which allows them to cover a bit more of a radiance, as Sparkies at the back are going to be a very good job at stopping everything, as they normally do. And there's your big push card from Will. The Royal Recruits. Beautiful split pushes there.
I was going to say, we'll have to see what he can bring out to counter it. And in fact, it's 5 Barbarians dropped right in the middle, able to split it and actually draw them into the middle. But instead, the Royal Hogs brought out by Will as the 2nd offensive card. And 2 of them get to the Goblin Cage, but 2 of them doing a lot of damage onto that tower, whilst on the left side, SoberBro pushing through and actually gets quite a few hits onto his left tower as well. And basically goes back to even footing, but Flying Machine may try to do some damage, but instead it is drawn away by that Barbarian Barrel. The perfect timing, only getting off 1 shot, and, well, very even footing in 2 very odd defenses and pushes. And there we go, the Lava Hound. That's going to get brought out, and what can Will do to defend against it?
Well, we called something like the Lava Hound coming out, or hopefully with the Balloon. There are 2 more spaces left. Will's playing a classic split deck. We've seen a lot of them with both the Royal Recruits and the Hog. They can go in both lanes, or you can push them down run if you need to. At least you can for the Hogs. I feel SoPro got away with that first back and forward with the Barbarians doing a bit of damage. As we see on the right here, he's made a decent push with the Lava Hound, but that's going to be pretty nicely shut down by the Flying Machine. The Miner, though, tanking for the Lava Pups, and we might see something come out of it. It's not quite enough, but it's more damage than Will has successfully got off on the right-hand side, and it's not over yet. It's still raining in much more than I thought, but these Sparkies will clean up those those skeleton dragons. And, well, SoPro definitely won that encounter as he goes down for yet another Lava Hound.
I mean, if it works and it's not broke, don't fix it. He's going to be trying the exact same thing. Will, this time actually going for a bit of a counter push early on. The Royal Hogs once again going down, but they don't do enough damage and only get his Super Bros tower down to 1,200, not 1,700. And, well, he's looking very flashed with the Skeleton Dragons on the right side. The Goblin from the cage doing a lot of damage. The Mine's going to go down. The Flying Machine behind the Lava Hound. They're just going to be chipping away. The Goblin cage is going to be trying to absorb as much damage as possible. The Arrow's trying to cover it. Skeleton Dragons go down as well, and this push is coming through. There's so much damage being done by that Miner. Down to 500 HP on the tower. And it's looking like he's trying to push through. So close. Skeleton Dragons and the Flying Machine are going to be doing so much damage to the tower. And that final hit will come in.
Oh.
And SoPro does take the victory in the first map. Will not quite narrowly losing out, but it wasn't exactly a whitewash by any means.
Nah, fair from it. SoPro definitely just about claimed it there at the end. We were talking one more hit and the Flying Machine would have gone down. But indeed, Will had a chance there on the right-hand side. Wasn't able to create as many opportunities as he would like. Though SoPro was very much in control the moment he put those Lava Hounds down. It's a really hard card to work against, especially if you don't have a Baby Dragon. It was interesting to see a lack of kind of anti-air building from Will, especially without the Inferno Dragon. I mean, not the Baby Dragon. I keep wanting to say Baby Dragon tonight. It's my card of choice, it seems. But the Goblin Cage, of course, not being able to do damage back to the Lava Hound can cause some issues for that defense there. And that's really where it fell apart. Wasn't able to deal with the Lava Hound. But the Miner was the unsung hero of that entire game, just being able to get a fair bit of damage in from behind.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Obviously, whilst the Lava Hound is just chipping away at the Goblin Cage and soaking up all the damage from everything, the Flying Machine, the tower, the Zappies and whatnot, the Miner just sitting there doing enough damage in the meantime. We'll have to see if Will has perhaps learnt his lesson in this match and does adjust his deck, adjust his playstyle perhaps, and see what quite he can come back with. Obviously, if he wants to stay in the upper bracket, he's going to have to win it in a reverse sweep, this one and the next one. And, well, already we see a different card Zap, and I don't actually see that out too often anymore, do you? I didn't personally.
No, it's been replaced by either the Log or the Barbarian Barrel.
Yeah.
I really think it's a solid card still. It still has a lot of versatility just to play down, as both sides have decided to drain all their elixir as they decide to wait for the other one to make a turn. We're about to move into the second minute of this round, and we've seen a Zap and a Barbarian Barrel. There we have SoPro breaking the gap with a Dark Knight at the back, and a Miner in the bottom right corner for Will. I guess he's mostly just using it to tank that attack coming in. But very slow at the moment. What they're all planning to use and do is interesting to see, as Will finally starting to show at least some of his cards. I mean, so we're finally seeing some action here as opposed to what we had before.
Oh, straight away, Electro Giant down on the bridge. Baby Dragon, actually a Baby Dragon this time, supporting him. And Barbarians, they're going to go down to try and counter the Electro Giant. It's going to do a lot of damage, but the zapping is going to do so much damage to them. They're all going to go down, and the Electro Giant will get at least, one punch and 2 zaps onto the tower, and that's a lot of damage. And a counter-attack, he's going to be dropping a balloon, supported by a Flying Machine. Ice Wizard to slow it down, but the balloon is not going to stop, and it's going to continue to get there whilst the Flying Machine is chipping away at the tower. The bomb should finish off the Ice Wizard as well, and do a lot of damage to the tower. In fact, in that encounter, it looked like a Super Rogue came out on top, but instead it's Will, narrowly by about 500 HP.
Yeah, SoPro like the elixir to deal with that counterattack, and a balloon is the kind of thing which you have to respond to, and you have to respond to surprisingly quickly. The tornado, not quite enough, and it was mostly actually the balloon tanking, which is not a thing you normally say, for the Flying Machine, where most of the damage was done, as another Dark Prince runs in, and Lightning cleans everything out, which is going to get this Dark Prince to charge. No, it's not. The Barbarians are going to clean it up. I imagine, though, Will's not going to want to place those Barbarians, because that was a really decent counter to the Electro Giant, and now he's lost it. So he's going to have them out of rotation to deal with here, as the balloon is going to be taken down by this Baby Dragon Ice Wizard combo. And it looks like so will this Flying Machine, as there it is. the Electro Giant. Now, what will have in his hand to counter it? He might have Barbarians backing around in a moment. Yes, he does. Now, can he stop it from connecting to the tower? Just about does, but doesn't get any damage of his own off. He needs to try and get a push out of this. Otherwise, Sobro will be able to just chip away here, which will leave him very open. As there goes a Lava Hound. Now, that's an investment.
That certainly is an investment, being an understatement. He's going to drop that big boy out into the Flying Machine directly behind it to try and push him along. The Lightning is going to go down, do a lot of damage to the Lava Hound, the tower, and take out the Flying Machine. Instead, he's going to drop down Skeleton Dragons to try and support them in the balloon as well. The Ice Wizard is actually going to get the slow effect onto it. The Miner not actually tanking the Dark Knight. The Zap's going to do its job. The Miner going to take down the Ice Wizard. And the balloon getting ever closer to that tower. The Tornado just about pulling it back. But it's so close and it is going to drop the bomb. And Will's going to take the right side tower. And, well, flying back into this. And they're going to take it to the side of map.
That is a Lavaloon deck, showing you why Lavaloon is really scary and it gets banned all the time here at the Nil when, you know, Balloon or Lava Hound gets banned. Because you place it down, that Lava Hound is tanking everything and the Balloon gets to go through. Even with the Ice Wizard attached, the Balloon has a lot more HP than you think. And especially with the, we had the Skeleton Dragons coming in behind that was cleaning up a lot. It was a really, really impressive push there by Will. And I'm glad to see he took that one, bringing us into the final game of this set. Very exciting.
It really is, and again, not too close, but not again a whitewash. Will was certainly in control in that, and the Dark Knight, the extra, they just couldn't really quite get going, couldn't get enough damage onto the towers. And well, we'll have to see who takes this one, and if there is just a stalemate for the first 45 seconds, or if someone banned it down straight away. There we go. Superbro dropping that out. The bonus damage charge going to actually do a lot onto the tower. Takes down a lot already, about 600 HP off of it. Flying Machine not quite able to take her out early enough. And a Princess at the back of the site, and a Cannon Cart going down on the bridge. Goblin Barrel combined, and may just actually do quite a lot of damage to this tower.
Well, the defensive Zap's going to say no to that, but that right-hand tower is already looking pretty nasty. Letting that Bandit get the charge attack and quite a few hits off. I don't know what Will was planning. He obviously had at least Barbarians in his hand, but I guess playing them for one Bandit feels a bit much. And you can't really zap it either because of how the charge mechanic works, as the Royal Crook and Skeleton get a few extra stabs in. Will's sitting on a lot of elixir. I'm expecting something heavy. We might be seeing a Lava Loon attack. Yes, called it. There's yet again the Lava Hound. With the Loon, I imagine, falling behind. Will Soperbro have an answer? The Hunter is definitely one, especially for those Lava Pups. And even for the Hound itself, it does a lot of damage. Let's see, does Will have it to back it up as he goes... As Soperbro goes all in on the opposite side with a full push. Arrows will clean it up, but doesn't look like a balloon for Will on the right. As Soperbro, with a fair bit of damage on both tower, now has to deal with this incoming mess.
Yeah, he certainly has to, and the Hunt's been dropped as... Oh, what was that?
That was a King Tower activation there. There was a Princess in front of the King Tower, and he went for it with a Miner. I don't know what he was planning there. He obviously decided opening up the King Tower was worth it. And if you're not running Goblin Barrel, which is not, I guess it's not going to really affect the strategy too much, but it might affect that Miner as we see more Wall Breakers going down. Wall Breakers require a response, and they require one quickly, as that Bandit is going to do even more work. But the Balloon has connected to the top right with those. That might not quite be enough. Whoa.
That's so unbelievably close, and just when you thought, I thought that Will was out of this, and instead he comes back flying into it. The Wall Breakers, both of them going to get to the tower, they're going to take it down. 45 seconds left, double elixir, and Will, he's going to have to make a very big push to take down this right side tower, but his right side tower is already so low. The Bandit is going to get neutralized by that Miner, taken down, but Will, the Lava Hound on the left side, he's going to have to do something magical. I don't know if Superbro will let him get to the right side to do enough damage. Wall Breakers once again drops in the Goblin in the Barrel. They're thrown out as well. So much damage in one action. Gets down to 59 HP. And this might just be GG. 20 seconds left on this. Will pulls something very magical.
Will is going to have to try and go for the rush free crown here, or try and take that right-hand side quickly, which he might just be able to do with this Miner. It looks like he will. Yes, but with that right-hand tower, 4 Wills on Will's side being so low, one of these Wall Breakers has to connect. That's going to get cleaned up by the Barbarians. The Princess's Splash, the Barbarian Barrel, not the Barbarian, the Goblin Barrel, one of them will connect, and it does. And Soperbro takes that game amazingly. Definitely showed control that entire game there, Soperbro. Got to be able to play on both lanes. One of those best moves was waiting for the arrows to come out, which allowed him to just go, Wall Breakers, go! And because for 2 elixir, they required that much of a response, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. But yeah, that was deeply impressively played by Soperbro. Very much in control of that fight. Yeah, what do you think, Ant? Anything in particular of that you loved?
It's certainly, I think that was just unfortunate for Will in terms of decks. Like, he had a very air-centric deck. He had the Flying Machine, Skeleton Dragons, Lava Hounds, the Balloon. And when you've got things like the Bandit, the Wall Breakers, they're on the floor. They need a response. Like, the Bandit just needs something to counter it, like a Barbarian Barrel or just Barbarians. And I think the only ground unit that Will had was the Barbarians, which cost 5 Elixir. And I'm pretty sure he'd already used them multiple times to counter other cards. And that's just so unfortunate when the deck that you have is just not good enough and not the correct sort of a selection for the deck that SoPro brought into play with it. And I don't know if you can, you probably can say much more than that. But that's sort of my take on it, is that Will just got very unlucky with the matchup of cards. And obviously he almost took it with the push in the air, because it's going to be a very offensive deck. It's just he just didn't have the defense quite well enough.
And you say he was unlucky with the cards. Will brought the same deck to both of those last 2 games, and SoPro decided to go into that 3rd game with a deck he knew, or at least he believed, would be able to deal with an air-based deck, and it was. It was a demanding deck that required responses. Wasn't quite like Log or Arrow bait, but it was getting there, and it was a deeply impressive play from SoPro, who basically asked all the right questions and got all the right damage off. Will just about claiming 1 tower, but by that point it was too late. SoPro already had this in the bag, with that right-hand tower tantalizingly low, as you can see, going down from just 1 Goblin Stab.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, and well, we'll have to see if Will does decide to change it up. Obviously, it was a very good read from SoPro, just expecting him. He thought, you used that deck, you won with it, maybe he's going to go with it again, and has basically the perfect counter for it. And yeah, it was well played from him, and he will continue through to the upper bracket, and I believe play against the winner of this, which is going to be JJ Legend versus Chocoholic 200, and it's certainly going to be a game, to say the least.
No, he's got a match against Mushroom next. Just checking the old scoreboards there. Yes, but this first, more importantly, is JJ Legend for Chocoholic, as you've said. The bans have come in nice and early, as we like them, because it allows me to, wobble on. JJ Legend has banned the Balloon, and we've just seen why in that last game it gets popularly banned. I was talking about that. And Chocoholic banning Recruits, which is the more defensive of the split pushes, but also the more iconic because it just covers the whole line. So, interesting thing to ban there. Definitely doesn't want to have to deal with defending 2 towers. Not completely sure what that could mean for Chocoholic, but JJ Legend's ban is simple and effective. We've seen the Balloon banned a lot here, and here's more of them.
Yeah, it's slightly odd. There's obviously, we've seen the Recruits quite a lot sort of this season, but also the split pushes. The Royal Hogs are sort of a massive card for that. So unless he's bought like a Goblin Cage or something specific to counter Royal Hogs, and he's just aware of these split pushes and has other cards to counter it, and the Royal Recruits are the only actual sort of big bane to his deck, perhaps that would make sense, but we'll just have to see. Maybe they're the perfect counter to his playstyle. Maybe he's got a P.E.K.K.A deck, who knows? Obviously, that is Chocoholic's more preferred style, playing with a P.E.K.K.A. We'll have to see if he does bring it out today. He's going to drop the Bandit right at the back. As that coming through from JJ Legend, and, well, we saw the Bandit to a great effect in the last match. We'll have to see if it can be wielded quite as well in this matchup.
Yes, and the Magic Archer, a bane of this game. You see a lot of it here because he's just able to clean up a lot of stuff. And a Royal Ghost. A lot of legendaries coming out from Chocoholic straight away. You see all 3 of them nicely glowing up there. With JJ playing it much simpler with Rage on a Musketeer. That makes slightly more sense, dropping down the Dark Prince. And a Battle Ram coming from Chocoholic, who's trying to run that kind of deck. That slightly explains the Royal Recruits. There's plenty of other cards that can easily swarm them. But the Magic Archer here is going to be able to clean up a fair bit of damage if left ignored. Not completely. Minions will stop it. But looking like a solid enough push for Chocoholic, who is just ahead in Elixir with this Bandit getting taken out by Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A, a really reliable card to just clean stuff up. Not a huge amount of health, but for defense, it's very nice.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Especially against he's a perfect counter to the Hog Ride, one of your favorite cards, which you haven't actually seen a lot of. But yeah, as I said, it's a very good card to counter a lot of cards that Chocoholic has. And well, we haven't actually seen anything too different so far. We've still got 3 mystery cards that he's not shown, as he's going to cycle back using the Battle Ram and a Rage and a Dark Knight. The perfect counters for it, as he is going to take it down relatively easily and perhaps get some charge bonus on.
Looks like the Bandit is going to nicely clean everything up there, but the minions will clean up the Bandit. There's a lot of going backward and forward on this bridge at the moment. No one's really seen a really impressive push go through, while Chocoholic has taken those few chips in with the Ram, and mainly the Magic Archer doing most work there. when it comes to chip damage. As there it is, JJ Legend's almost legendary Sparky is placed at the back. He's probably one of the few people we see bring it to the party here. And when it hits like a truck. But that left-hand side is going to get hit like a truck with that ram going through. And the zap might have just dealt with that Sparky entirely. Not quite.
Yeah, not quite. Very close and almost goes down. A lot of damage onto the tower, but the push is coming through. A Goblin Giant, along with the Dark Knight, are going to come through. The P.E.K.K.A. is going to get taking so much damage from the Sparky. Electro Wizard being the final card that Chocoholic is going to bring out, and he's not going to be able to take down the Sparky. Goblin Giant doing a lot of damage to the tower. As the second Sparky does finish off the P.E.K.K.A. Minions and the Spear Goblins are going to be doing so much damage to that right side tower. And, well, it's so low. It's lower than both of JJ's towers. But, well, JJ has 2 towers that are very low already. And can Chocoholic hold on as a second Goblin Giant is dropped, backed up by that Dark Knight. Mini P.E.K.K.A. on the left side, and he may just get to the tower to do enough damage. He's going to be punching.
And it is. Oh, JJ Legend taking the long game there with his legendary Sparky and Goblin Giant. Something we see a fair bit from him. Really bringing that in. It always surprises you. And you never normally have a counter to it. It's surprisingly hard to deal with. The Sparky requiring a response. He had to let the right-hand side take a fair bit of damage to let that push go through, that first push go through, but it was well worth it because in the end of the day, you only have to take the crown tower. It doesn't matter how much damage you do if you can't take them, unless of course you end up in overtime, but it's a whole nother mess.
It's just, again, a classic example of, happened quite a few the other week, of just going for the split damage attack, which is great if you go to overtime, whatever, if they both take towers. But if you can't get at least 1 tower, then it's all for nothing, really. And it's very frustrating, and I'm sure that Chocoholic isn't going to be happy with that. And unfortunately, it was a good deck, and it almost did work out. But as you said, the Sparky, just the perfect win condition. And perhaps Chocoholic kind of neglected that, and obviously just did rain complete terror over him on that right side. And, well, Bandit dropped once again, and a Dark Knight again dropped by JJ. So we'll have to see if they've actually changed up the decks. Which I don't see why they wouldn't, but Battle Ram once again dropped it right at the back this time. And a Sparky from JJ. I mean, if it works, why not try it again?
Well, it's still quite a good response to a Battle Ram because it does leave 2 Barbarians left. And those Barbarians are going to do some work. But the Dark Prince on the right, getting a few hits in, taking a nice bit off. The Magic Archer is definitely not going to be enough to deal with that Sparky alone. Poison combo might be. Well, not if he decides to put down one of his legendary giant goblins, which he's going to clean up very nicely, as we might see some P.E.K.K.A. v Mini P.E.K.K.A. with the Rages. Giant Goblin not going to make it. Sparky looks like it might not get down in time either. Oh, maybe.
No. Oh, no.
No, it is.
Oh, no.
It is! It's only 1. It's not enough to take it down, but that is a huge advantage for JJ Legend, getting that Sparky to connect. Its main job is to scare the opponent, I always think, especially how JJ uses it. But when it connects, it is deadly. And now the question is, will he be able to get much more damage off?
The timing,
and
oops, indeed.
Oops, indeed. Oops, indeed. Oh,
yeah,
the Royale, of course, not going to take that hit because of how it works. Should have been placed higher up. And yeah, now it's looking very strong for JJ Legend for what was the final round of this set. Well, what could be the final round of this set?
This is just kind of pretty heartbreaking for Chocoholic. Obviously, trying to go with the same deck. JJ saying why not to go with the same deck. It does work, and you can see it working. That Mini P.E.K.K.A. going to take down the Battle Ram. Not even going to get anywhere near the tower. The Barbarian's taken down as well. And Chocoholic, he's already lost 1 tower. The other tower is his damaged as the 1 tower he's damaged for JJ. And, well, the Magic Archer is going to do a lot of damage. He's going to take down the Sparky. But at this point, JJ, he just has to hold on and be defensive. And he's got so much elixir that he can use to take him down and defend against him. You've got to be a bit of make questionable decisions to lose this.
I mean, he's got so much elixir to throw around. He's just tried to rage a Princess Tower to take out a Magic Archer. I mean, it's worked in the position he's in. He's going to go for more than 1 crown, and this is looking like a good push. That P.E.K.K.A. is going to do a lot of work, but I think it's going to get eaten away just about as the right-hand tower falls. Can he get for the 3 crowns with 20 seconds left on the clock? Is he going to go to, or is he going to try and defend his towers? Because they are both relatively weak. No, he's gone for it. JJ is going to the 3 crown strategy, but he's got to be careful not to let it become his hubris.
Yeah, there's not enough time. 8 seconds left. The Battle Ram going for the 3 crown. It's going to hit, but there's so much HP on the King Tower. It's not going to make a difference. And JJ, he will be victorious, taking this in a 2-0 fashion. And is that perhaps somewhat surprising? Obviously, Chocoholic, he's done relatively well. He's been here every single week. Came first once, second twice in a 3rd and a 5th place. And now going down to perhaps a returning legend in the form of JJ Legend. Is that surprising?
Not completely. JJ Legend has been showing some really good skill recently, and Chocoholic has kind of somewhat been in decline since the opening of the tournament, but he's kept in there, and he's also come through losers brackets quite often. And, you know, we have just seen some pretty epic plays there from JJ. He really showed control in both rounds. You say that the first round he was looking pretty weak, and then got one really solid push-off, and that definitely paid off in his favor.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Obviously, you say you're looking weak, you neglect the tower's HP, you take all the damage, but you've built up the elixir advantage and just drop all your guards, go through and just win, just like you can see here. And you completely obliterate him in the P.E.K.K.A. I mean, he does a lot of damage, but when you've got a target like the Goblin Giant just attacking the building, you can't stop it. There's nothing you can really do. And
his second game wasn't anywhere near as close, was it?
Yeah,
wasn't anywhere
not
near.
at all.
Basically, Chocoholic fluffed it. He placed the Royal Ghost in the wrong place, and as a result, the right-hand tower fell quicker than he was hoping. Well, I don't think anybody hopes for it, but you know what I mean. Quicker than it could have done. And as a result, JJ was able to do a lot of work and just defending that right-hand tower of his own at the end there, just guaranteeing his victory. It was very impressively controlled by JJ.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to say. Even before the Dark Prince got down on the left side and was hitting the tower away, he had so much damage. The Sparky was just perfect, and Chocoholic, despite I think the Elixir, the first match he had the Elixir with, the second one I don't think he did. I'm not quite sure on that though. Usually the perfect counter, wasn't quite able to do it. And well, yeah, that's all you can really say. JJ just so measured, so controlled, and he is going to take the victory and continue up through the upper bracket.
Indeed. The Rage spell there, underrated, I think. I think that did a lot of work, a card that is often forgot about. Anyway, we'd like to thank Unite students and Logitech G for being able to bring this amazing content to you as we head into a short break right now. See you in a bit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clash Royale spring season we're currently in, even though it doesn't quite seem like it. And, well, we're on to week 6. We've got 2 weeks left of points, including this week, and then we're on to the playoffs. And we are back with hopefully a banger of a game in the form of JJ Legend versus SoProBro, both, well, performing very well tonight so far.
Yes, last week's final is back slightly earlier than last time. Let's see if they will re-meet again later. But it's very interesting to see how this one goes down. As you know, JJ's been performing particularly well so far, and so has SoProBro. As we've just been watching here in an epic fight against Mushroom, taking a little while, but they did finally get to the end of that, just taking it in a 2-1 victory to SoProBro. Very interesting to see as the bans are coming in. JJ Legend has banned Balloon, and SoProBro has banned Giant Skellington, which is an interesting ban. So no double giants from JJ, though it's not something we've seen him play. And JJ's decided, I don't want to do the balloons. And like I say, it's a common ban here because they're scary things. They do a lot of damage in one hit.
Exactly, and considering the deck that we saw him literally just use, that's the only deck he used, and it was twice. That was very centered on the ground. Obviously, you had the Sparky, you had the Dark Prince, you had the Goblin Giant, Mini P.E.K.K.A. as well. Obviously, perfectly sort of balanced for ground defense, but air defense perhaps not so much. So obviously, if he's banned that's going to take away a lot of air damage, and we'll have to see how SoProBro does sort of revolve around that. If he's going to go for an air deck, but perhaps with Skeleton Dragons, Flying Machine, and Lava Hound, or if he's just going to try and play JJ Legend at his own game and go for a ground attack. Obviously, as he said, it was very close with SoProBro and Will. JJ Legend had a bit more clearance, and we'll have to see who does come out on top and actually goes through.
Well, let's see how this goes down now. As we see a Goblin Barrel countered by yet another barrel at the back there, with a Princess being able to clean up most of that right-hand side. No, the left-hand side. The right-hand side got a bit of an opening here with these zappies. They can't do a huge amount, but they might be a bit of a sleeper. No, easily cleaned up here. Yet to see anything really aggressive. SoProBro looking like he's going for that semi-log bait deck we saw him play earlier with the wall breakers and the like. As a fireball goes in, nicely cleaning up both that Goblin Barrel and the wall breakers there.
Yeah, Skeleton's going to get completely neglected or negated by the Barbarian Barrel, who's going to clear up the Bandit as well. Very well played from JJ Legend in that form, and nice attempt from SoProBro. You don't actually see the Skeletons too much, I don't think, really, nowadays. Obviously, it's very good for detracting damage away from high damage cards in single hits like the Bandit, like the Prince, and whatnot. And, well, we'll have to see if they're crucial in this matchup, as the Zappies once again are dropped to the back. Flying Machine to take down the Princess. Does a bit of damage to the tower, but nothing too significant. And SoProBro, he's built up a massive amount of elixir, is going to drop the Hunter, take down the Flying Machine, and should take down the Zappies, as the Goblin Barrel is going to go out again. The Electro Spirit basically takes them down completely, and a bit of damage done, but again, nothing too significant.
Well, that little bit of damage might matter, as we're yet to see the real big hitter from JJ. We won't expect one from SoProBro, because he's kind of got the Goblin Barrel and the Bandit doing those works. We've seen how powerful they can be so far. As that Bandit, just a misplace there of that Barbarian Barrel, allows it to connect. JJ waiting for extra time to see what he's got hiding, and it is more recruits. It looks like JJ is going for the split push deck.
SoProBro immediately is going to be coming out with the counter of the Cannon Cart on the right side. The Princess on the left side should be able to do a lot of chip damage onto the Royal Recruits, but the Flying Machine is going to take her down, along with 2 Royal Recruits supporting him, but the Recruit in the box is going to come down, basically take them out, and, well, a lot of damage done, but the right side push is coming through. Zappy is supported by the one more Royal Recruit, but he's going to get taken down. The Cannon Cart doing just enough damage to take them down, and SoProBro, he basically comes out clean. Bandit going to do a lot of damage to the Goblin in the cage, or the cage that he was in. Barbarian Barrel taking down the Goblin cage, or Goblin Barrel, and well, here we go. The push from JJ Legend, the Royal Hogs on the right side, that can be trying to do as much damage as they can. Cannon Cart doing a lot of damage back to them, but they're getting so many hits in, and it's quite a lot of damage.
Indeed it is, but the Royal Recruits at the back are going to give an opening. That right-hand side for SoProBro looking pretty good, but nothing spectacular as we're about to move into the end of normal play, and only one tower matters, so I guess it is pretty important. As JJ has yet to really find a really good hit. That fireball, I guess that kind of counts, but that's just spell damage. Though it has evened things up quite a fair bit. But no one's had a real big push. SoProBro's not going to have one with this deck, and JJ, I guess, not as well either. Split push, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. With, I imagine, SoProBro feeling pretty good going into this last bit, with that barrel being able to do a fair bit of work.
Yeah, this is really going to be down to circumstances and just baiting out the right cards. Obviously, anytime he tries to use the Goblin Barrel, the Barbarian Barrels just come down and immediately counter it. Obviously, the Royal Recruit's going to get chipped away by the Princess and the Hunter and whatever. And at the moment, it's just looking a bit of like a stalemate, and no one's getting too much damage in. Eventually, the Goblin Barrel is going to do a lot of damage on the left side, but there's just no actual damage into one significant tower going down, and there's so many cards on the field for JJ Legend. The Royal Recruits 4 on the left side, supported by the Flying Machine, and they're going to get so much damage done to them by the box coming from the sky, and well, it should do enough to just about take them down. They get one hit onto the tower, but well, they're all dead.
Well, with 60 seconds left, it's looking like SopaBro's going to win this in the battle of attrition, a sense of things. Probably just win out, unless JJ can pull a really nice push off here with some Hogs and Wall Recruits. The Recruits just aren't making it across the bridge, really, while SopaBro's being able to get that Goblin Barrel over the line and just get a bit of damage in every cycle or so. But this push here has to be it for JJ Legend. He has to do a significant amount of damage here. He's got the final push, and it's looking good. The right-hand side is his good, strong hope here. As the Hogs go down, the Hunter's going to neutralize them pretty effectively, and I think that might be it, unless JJ can pull something big out right at the end here. 20 seconds left. SopaBro might just win this on tower damage as he goes for the other castle. I'm surprised he's not trying to confirm the right-hand side. Make sure he goes a bit lower. He's only 300 health up, but this looks like it is JJ's. Wait, I'm being blind. There's a right-hand side tower. Yes, you know, I'm not being blind. I'm looking at both towers here. Wait, what? On the right. There's chaos.
So much anarchy. What is going on?
That came so chaotic at the end. I lost the left-hand tower there that JJ had been doing a lot of damage on. And then the last minute, SopaBro pulls an amazing right-hand tower push to do all the damage. I lost all track of that one. That was a chaos. But maybe that's what SopaBro needed. SopaBro needed to cause enough chaos in that fight to win it. He needed to keep things all over the place. JJ didn't know where he stand. I didn't know where I stood. It was that impressively done by SopaBro that he was able to take control of even the commentator's mind. So how JJ was able to keep up with that, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I wasn't even commentating, and I was just like, hang on a minute, wait, left side, oh, wait. Just everything. There was I'm pretty sure there was bombs going off. I didn't even know there was bombs on the deck. I was just, what? The Flying Machine on the left side is doing so much damage to Chocoholic's tower, or like SopaBro's tower, saying the wrong names. And well, eventually, the Goblin Barrel just get through and just about takes it. It was so close. And we'll have to see if it's going to be quite that sort of a caliber of a battle in this matchup, as SopaBro immediately has already changed, has got different cards in his deck, Spear Goblins and a Log, something slightly different, and in fact, perhaps he's fancying his own turn at the Royal Recruits. He's dropping them off at the back, and well, JJ Legend, he's countering them with 6 of his own, dropping them at the back, and they should meet just about on JJ's side, so the Princess Towers will help out with the damage of taking them down, but the Cannon Cart on the left side should do a lot of damage, and a Flying Machine perhaps tries to do a bit back.
Flying Machine very similar to Cannon Cart, really, in their kind of damage output and position. I guess Cannon Cart having a slightly more HP, but Flying Machine having that advantage of being in the air. Hunter's going to do a really nice job of cleaning out these Royal Recruits. Neither side being able to do too much damage, though, as we know last time, that was very deceptive until the last moment. But we are seeing the rush that is wall breakers, or tower breakers, effectively, in this, on the right-hand side. Game able to get one off, and the Hunter a lot, putting SopaBro in a nice position here. Already a fair bit of chip on both towers.
Certainly a fair bit of chip indeed. 1700 on the left side and 22 on the right. Yeah. And the Zappies, well, they're going to go down right in the middle, trying to take down these Spear Goblins. Going to soak up the damage and not allow any more onto that tower. As the Cannon Cart, that's going to go out. Perhaps try to sneak through. And as you said, I think SopaBro, he's been in command so far. And he's looking perhaps to try to continue the same way as the Fireball. That's going to take down the Flying Machine, do damage to the tower as well. And he's looking very confident at the moment. The Elixir almost even. And he's certainly got the upper hand, and he's controlling very well.
Indeed he is, and when he's got the kind of deck he has, which while having the Wall Recruits is very much a kind of low elixir, spammy deck with those wall breakers and a log, another good sign of that. He is definitely, you have to be in control when it comes to those decks. As we're going to see these Wall Recruits have it out in the center. SopaBro's just going to take the advantage with them being on his side, and that Miner's going to be able to get in and do work. Now the question is he going to tank for anything? Doesn't look like it as the Zappies go down. Going to clean that up very nicely, but a little bit more damage on that leading tower. SopaBro looking pretty good here as we are almost at the end of normal play. And there is the Hogs. Now, question is how much work can they do when the Fireball will clean them up oh so nicely.
Yeah, indeed. You thought, hang on a minute, JJ has got him there. But no, the fireball, defensive fireball from Soberbro coming out. The defensive log as well. Going to be cleaning up the Zappies and the Goblin. It's looking very good, very in command. And just when you thought that he was beginning to let it slip, he does just about regain control. And he hasn't actually been able to get any more chip damage onto those towers, which is, I guess, a halt in progress. But it is, he's not sustained any damage so far, and it's going to continue that way. The fireball going out is going to actually mop up the flying machine and everything else. And the Barbarian Barrel, that's going to do a lot of damage on the right side with the, in terms of troops, taking down those big goblins, and a lot of damage on onto those Royal recruits. But it's just basically a stalemate. Once again, the Miner chipping away on the left side, Royal Hogs on the right. And what can Sopro do? He can pull out a log. Basically, do a lot of damage across them. They are going to get to the tower, do a little bit of damage, but nothing too significant. And he's not even going to drop the tower below 2k HP. And
no, this is looking particularly good for Sobro here. Yeah. Miners being able to rotating the miner on the right-hand side has left him with some opportunity. The right-hand side, I'm looking very weak. On the left-hand side, I mean, as these spear goblins will be allowed to do a little bit of work and actually even things out. The right-hand tower now looking pretty strong. He's got options on both sides to Sobro. And at this point, it's just going to be about damage. Maybe he can take out that right-hand tower before overtime ends, as JJ hasn't found anything to get through in this. Really, nothing has pulled through for JJ, and this is looking like it's Sopro's game. Very much in control. Both setting up Royal recruits at the back. JJ, for the first time, actually going for the second end. So Sopro knows he's going to lose this encounter unless he can put something behind it. The flying machine's easily going to even that up. Fireball will deal with that, but it looks like it's all going to be cleaned up very nicely on the left-hand side, with the right falling in a similar-ish manner. But JJ looking a bit stronger. Really, Sopro just needs to hold up here, as these hogs are going to get nicely taken out the same way they have been every push.
Yeah, he's just basically been running into a brick wall with that, and obviously the miner going in, you can't deal with it every single time. It's just not really viable. He's going to be consistently hitting away at that tower, doing so much damage. And obviously that Goblin Cage has been baited out. All he needs to do is perhaps just wait a second for it to be off field, drop the wall breakers, and again, that's just a 2 elixir card that JJ has to deal with, and if he doesn't deal with it, it's so much damage. And at this point, as you said, it's basically over, 20 seconds left. Another miner going out, once again not dealt with, and he's just chipping away at that tower. JJ can't break through, and it's going to be all over at this point. He can't do anything else. He can't do any more damage with the tower. The Royal Hogs a last-ditch attempt to try and do damage, but 3 seconds left. He's going to be able to do it, and so Probro, he will go through with his second victory, taking down JJ Legend in a 2-0 fashion in this best of 3. Very confident in that second map.
Indeed he is. Sobro definitely looking much more in control of that one than he did last time. The first round, he was in charge, but it was slightly shakier. Yeah, Sobro definitely in control. Very defensive. Those wall recruits did a lot of work, stopping anything getting to the tower, and the log stopping those hogs, making it with that little bit of pushback that it can offer. It's really impressive, the log. That's why it's a legendary card. It's that pushback, because nothing can be resisted it, not even a giant, and that's why it's so good, and that's why it's particularly good even with the Barbarian Bow being as big as it is. Let's have a look at these replays. Okay, let's watch this last 10 seconds, because this was so chaotic. The top right-hand tower is the one that goes, while the bottom left takes a fair bit of damage. You can see the Bandit runs in, and the Hunter does a lot of work. But what really gets the kill? Well, it doesn't get, nothing gets the kill, but the Hunter was the one that probably did the most work there. And yeah, that was a pretty chaotic final 10 seconds. As we see here, though, this was so close in the second round. Yeah, much less dramatic.
It was that was just chipping away. This is the miner just sitting there, JJ going, you know what, I don't care at this point. I mean, he does try, but at that point it was over. So Pro, he consistently showed again and again and again that he wasn't getting through. And I don't know if JJ could have changed his playstyle up to try and make it work, perhaps just baiting out specific cards that the Royal Hogs were countered with. But, I mean, he couldn't find a way through. He's a better player than I am. So it's just so Pro being a better player than him. And he was the brick wall, denied him. And, well, as I said, he does go through in 2-0 fashion. And that first game was bizarre, honestly. If JJ would have taken that, I would have loved to see that third game. But very unfortunate. The fireballs going left and right, wall breakers, goblin barrels. I don't even know. Just chaos.
It was chaos, and it was beautiful chaos, that first game. While the second game was the sign of how to control fight. It was just amazingly done. Both sides really showed really good skill there. As we move in to the next game, Mushroom versus Will. Here are our Titans. At least that's what we were calling at the beginning of the season. Now, well, they've both had some people chip away at that throne. We've just seen them with JJ Legend definitely being one of them for sure. And we have the bans in very soon. There's a lot to talk about in these bans. Mushroom has he's banned Lava as a whole, but I'm assuming that's going to be the Lava Hound, which, as we've seen, interesting he's banned the Lava Hound and not the Balloon. Normally the Balloon's the one's taken out of the pair, because the Balloon can still be played without the Lava Hound still effectively. But yes, Lava Hound-less deck, so Will's definitely want to pack something building, possibly Inferno Dragon as well. And Will has banned the Archers. Okay. I mean, there's plenty of other things that can do an Archer's job. They're good, but it's a very specific card to ban, I feel. Unless there's something particular that comes to your mind, Dan.
No, not really. Honestly, it's what I think it was the first week that we did, was this week 2. And someone banned Knight, and we were thinking it's a very versatile card, very good, but also there's so many replacements, and it's not really too much of a hazard. So it's slightly odd. The fact that it's Will doing it though makes me think, oh, he's got something up his sleeve. He's got to do it for some reason, right? So just eagerly awaiting to see what it is, because obviously, however many weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, when he first initially banned the Fireball, and it was the first time, I'm pretty sure the first time that we saw him do that, and we were just thinking, very odd. I guess it's a general playstyle, but well, we'll have to see if it's just a general playstyle thing with the Archers this time, as we do get into the match now, with the Fisherman mopping up the Spear Goblins, not allowing any damage to get through to the tower, and basically should be taken down by the Log and, well, by the Princess Tower. Gets the anchor off, but nothing substantial done so far, as a Knight's dropped to the back by, well, Seal Shroom now, formerly Mushroom, and, well, he's brought out the ever common card of the Zappies.
Indeed, the Zappies with that electric damage, being able to stun and do a fair bit of damage themselves, was really, really great card. And we've seen it nearly every fight, or at least every set tonight. As there is the Balloon, called it. Mushroom banning the Lava Hound, but then using the Balloon himself, because he's Miner looting, which is another classic combination. The Miner doing the tanking. That Snowball actually helping the Balloon get slightly closer to the tower. This is going to be nasty. Oh, the Fireball's going to make it slightly less nasty. Or is it? Now, because of course, by knocking him away with the Fireball, basically the Balloon, as soon as it gets to a tower or a building, is able to drop the bomb. So if anything, I think Will just helped Mushroom a lot with that Fireball, because it allowed him to fire again faster. And now that right-hand tower for Will is looking extremely weak.
Yeah, very juicy for Seal Shroom here. Drops the Log. He's got plenty of elixir, and he's not actually going to bring out anything too spicy as of yet. But well, he's thinking very spicy, feeling very hot right now. He's going to drop a Mega Knight right to the back, and it's a very common card that you see a lot in ladder, or I see a lot in ladder, but not so much in the tournament. So we'll have to see if he can do as much damage as perhaps Will's desiring. And the Miner is going to take that bonus charge damage as the Graveyard's brought out. Going to be trying to do as much damage as they can to the tower. Snowball going down, but a Log to counter it. And the Skeletons, they do a bit of damage onto that tower, but nowhere near enough compared to what Will's done, or Mushroom's done, onto Will's tower.
And this might just be it. The Hunter's going to be able to get its 2 clean shots off. Oh, no, only 1. But that right-hand tower looking particularly weak. You were talking about the Mega Knight. Yeah, you don't see a lot of this level because it can be quite easily countered by any sort of mini-tank, and pretty much everyone carries one as the Fisherman is able to get a few swings off, and that top right-hand tower falls. I mean, that was inevitable, to be honest, wasn't it? It was going to happen. Let's see if this Mega Knight push with the Bomb Tower. We were talking about this card's rise to grace from where it was, weren't we? Let's see if it can hold down this Mega Knight, which it very easily will. And the Graveyard is going to get shut down pretty nicely by Spears and Hunter.
Yeah, it will, and well, Mushroom, he's going to be going for an attack on the left side. He's getting a bit greedy. Will it cost him? We'll have to find out. As they are going to be going down, the Knight basically getting taken down by the Zappies and the Hunter. The Balloon is going to get to the tower. Snowball going in, but he can't get off the second shot, sorry. And well, the bomb will go off, the tower doesn't go down, and Will, with his counterattack, isn't going to have enough time. The Mega Knight, well, getting distracted by that Knight, and the game is over. Mushroom does take the first one, 1-0, and I don't want to say dominant fashion, but that Balloon, I mean, Will just, he didn't look like he had a counter to it.
It's funny to think that Will's greatest mistake there was defense, was fireballing that Balloon, because that allowed that second Balloon bomb to go off, which was unexpected. It was very interesting, like, you know, how the game works and looking at the mechanics. It's not something you'd think about, but do not fireball or snowball the Balloon when it's on top of your tower. It's too late at that point. You have to give it something else, unless, of course, it's going to finish it off. But yeah, that was a very interesting interaction. I was surprised, and that's pretty much what won it there for Mushroom. As we round in to round 2, and we see yet again the Zappies at the back.
I mean, yeah, we saw the Zappies from Will last time, but I mean, obviously that the Balloon was the winning factor for Mushroom, but the Zappies, you'd think they're a counter to the Balloon, they'd slow it down, they'd allow for the damage, but we didn't really see that a lot, because obviously the Balloon just went through, the Miner was taking the damage. So, well, if Mushroom does bring out the same deck, or same style of deck, Well, he doesn't. We'll have to see what that does. We'll have to see what the Royal Giant does. As he drops out on the right side, the Fisherman is going to bring him across. The Hunter going down, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage. It's going to pull the Royal Giant away, and he actually doesn't get a single shot off. Beautifully played from Will.
No, he didn't even get one on the right-hand tower. That was a log, wasn't it? That was beautiful from Will. That's the power of those dragon cards, the Fisherman and the Tornado. The only real two really show that kind of power. But yeah, you can shut units down that are normally very scary. The Royal Giant is really hard to stop getting one hit if you don't have a building. But the problem is now he's going to pretty much guarantee that Fisherman is being used for that. As we see the other pair of Giants, the Giant Skeleton dropped and going in on that left-hand lane.
Obviously, the graveyard to not support it, but perhaps do the damage. Hunter going to be turning around to basically take all of them out. Electro Spirit and the skeletons of his own are going to be able to finish off the job. And the Zappies, well, they do take down the Hunter, but the tower is going to finish them off. And well played indeed. But he does, Will does get a lot of damage, or a bit of damage onto his tower, and is currently leading, but it's nothing too substantial. As we do, well, not quite get into double elixir, but Mushroom, he's going to drop the Royal Giant at the bottom of the map. And it's not something you see too often. The Royal Giant normally just drop him on the bridge, and he just walks through and sits there and fires away. So we'll have to see if what sort of a push that Mushroom is bringing through.
It's interesting. Royal Giant, as you say, is something you place right at the end of your push. It's the last thing. It fronts it off. Because otherwise it gets eaten away like it has been there by the Hunter. And this Giant Skeleton that the Fisherman has actually just brought it close to the tower. Is it going to make it? No. Electro Spirit says otherwise. But the Hunter on full health is going to be able to do a fair bit of work if left ignored. And so is that graveyard with not a huge amount to do with it apart from some skeletons. With a freeze spell. Oh, it's not enough. The Electro Wizard will clean up nicely. But that's still a fair bit of damage on both sides. There by Will to Mushroom. That right-hand tower's Hunter went ignored, as I was slightly worried about. The Giant is going to go down and get some hits in this time for once. The question is how many, as that Zappy will do a fair bit to shut it down. But yes, that left-hand tower looking particularly weak. And the right for Mushroom. Now let's see what this Giant Skeleton can do.
Yeah, he's well, the Fisherman there actually almost hazards the Giant Skeleton as he actually brings the Hunter away and drags the Giant Skeleton away from the tower. As Mushroom, he's going to be going back with a counter-attack from the Royal Giant. So much damage done to him, he doesn't actually, once again, get a shot off. And Will, he's leading just ever so slightly. The Zappy doing a little bit extra more damage on the right tower. But Will, Mushroom, sorry, all he needs to do is drop that Royal Giant and just get one shot on. And that will give him the HP advantage once again. But Will, he's got other ideas. He's going for that counter push. The Giant Skeleton going to be pushing through, soaking up a lot of damage. As the graveyard comes in, the freeze comes in. It's so perfect and does so much damage onto the tower. And, well, it doesn't quite take it down, but he's done so much, and that may just win him this map.
Will looking in a very commanding position here. That snowball not quite enough to finish off the Electro Wizard. And Mushroom once again going for that back-end Royal Giant. As we're saying, probably not the best thing to do with him. Giant Skeleton's going to act as a good distraction. And one more Graveyard could even do it with a good enough push. This looks like it's all going to clash out here. We've still got a minute on the clock, so this actual interaction will be important. It does look good for this Royal Giant who's been able to make quite a lot of progress. Now that Hunter's going to shut it down nicely.
Yeah, Giant Skeleton is going to be taken down by the tower once again. And this time, well, he's changing it up. He's going to be going for a graveyard on the right side, trying to do damage to see if it works there. As the Hunter on the left side is going to be taken down, but the freeze is perfect. The Electro Wizard goes down, the freeze comes back to counter it. And he will take down that right tower, crying indeed. I wouldn't say Mushroom's too bothered, as it will go to a third map. And will definitely in control there, looking so good. That freeze was perfect. And he was just playing it so perfectly there.
Freeze Graveyard, man. Freeze, Graveyard, Poison are like a combination. I mean, Poison's the counter to that, but still, it's really interesting to see. And getting that freeze timing right, waiting for them to drop a unit that they're using to deal with the Graveyard, and then freezing everything there. You have so many skeletons doing so much damage. We saw a lot of distraction plays there from Will as well. The Giant Skeleton, I don't think it hit the tower once, but it scares the opponent, and also, because of that bomb mechanic, it kills everything that was slow enough that's still around that impact site once it's done. So yeah, just a really great game there, and I'm really excited to see as we go to this final game what happens. It's going to be interesting. Let's roll in.
Honestly, the freeze, I hate it, but also love it. It makes me feel so dirty. It's just such I don't want to say like a cheap move, but obviously it's been the game since launch. It's just like, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, by the way, you can't do anything. You've put down everything to counter it. You can't do anything now. And Will's probably sitting there going, oh my God, I hate you, Will. And they usually have a bit of banter in the chat. It would surprise me if they didn't bring this up. But, well, it's we'll have to see if it's brought out once again. Obviously, it did work for Will. He was very strong, quite dominant in that game. But so far, something slightly different. Snowball and Goblin Cage going down early on. Zappies in the former, or from Mushroom at the back. And well, we saw the Fisherman neutral. Sorry, see a lot of action being very vital, deterring that Royal Giant push. And once again, Will has decided to bring him back in his deck. So it's a smart choice, and it doesn't really surprise me. And he can't grab that Zappy. What is going on?
Yeah, the Zappy is just like, no, I don't want to go that way. I'm good. Exactly, the other fisherman's going to deal with it. It's interesting to see these high-level players bring a lot of units which have very interesting mechanics. You know, we see a lot of the Zappies and the huge Zap mechanic. We see the Fisherman a fair bit, at least we have this in this set. It's quite good to see these cards which take a lot of skill to understand what you need to do with and show that, you know, once you know what you're doing with them, they're really powerful. You can shut down Brawl Giants, as it looks like this Mega Knight is going to do to this giant skeleton.
Honestly, I can't get over that Zappy just zapping the fisherman. Just swinging his anchor.
Zap. Nope.
Swinging his anchor. Zapped.
Stop. Anyway, it looks like the Hunter is just going to finish off this Mega Knight, and the Bomb will finish it off if not. And a Graveyard goes down for Mushroom, deciding he's going to use the Graveyard. The question is, has he brought the freeze spell? It's actually looking like a pretty similar deck. Thought so. It's actually, I was about to say, this looks like a very similar deck to what Will just brought. So the freeze spell doing a bit there, but not a huge amount, as the Hunters will match each other out almost perfectly. But it's looking Mushroom on the upper foot. I wouldn't say he's got a huge advantage, but he's definitely looking good as we get into Double Elixir.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's just very cheeky like that. It wouldn't surprise me if Mushroom was like, all right, I'll take your deck then. And has just stolen his deck and is using it against Will. And if he does win this, and as you said, he's got very slight advantage, that Fireball is going to basically bring it a lot closer. It would be very cheeky if he didn't win it. But, well, the game does continue as the Mega Knight is going to be doing a lot of damage onto that giant skeleton. And he may die, but if the giant skeleton dies, that's basically going to kill the Mega Knight. But it looks like they'll die basically in sync. The bomb's going to go down. Isn't going to do too much damage. It's going to finish off that cage that was basically going to die anyway. And the second giant skeleton's going to go on the right side, and the second Mega Knight's going to come out to counter it. The Hunter and the Zappies doing a lot of damage to him, but the Fireball's going to clear it up. That bomb may just clear up the final Zappies and the Mega Knight, and they do. And very nice, but in the meantime, a Graveyard and a freeze, sorry, not a flash, are going to go down the right side and do a lot of damage. Take it to elite HP, 1337.
Yes, very true indeed. But Graveyard Freeze, being shown they're being really powerful, if you can get a bit of an elixir advantage, it's expensive. It's not an elixir. But it works extremely well, especially if there's something going on in the middle that Will was busy focusing and putting units down for. You can end up being caught off guard, and it's a bit more damage that's in Mushroom's favor. This, as we enter overtime with almost a minute and a half left, is looking very good for Mushroom. He just needs to keep playing defense and then getting those occasional attack off, as the Fisherman is going to try and deal with this giant skeleton, sending it all over the place.
Well, that Fireball was... I hate it when that happens. Mushroom, he puts down the Zappies, but the moment he put it down, Will's already put the Fireball down. So it's pure coincidence that he put down the Fireball, and, well, that's going to basically ruin them. But Mushroom is not deterred. He's going to be putting down a Graveyard and Freeze once again on the right side, and it's going to do so much damage to the tower. It's going to take it down to 450 HP, 389. So close. And Mushroom, he's basically won it at this point, unless Will pulls out something very, very magical, and I don't think Mushroom's going to let him.
Well, Will's going to go all in on the other side. Mushroom could decide, does he want to try and finish off that right-hand tower or play defensively? To be honest, he has time to do both, as Will drops a Graveyard in at the back with no freeze to cover it up. The Fireball's going to have to do that job. It's not going to be enough damage. He's got the Fisherman, he's got the Hunter. That's going to be cleaned up. Now the question is, can we see that right-hand tower fall for Mushroom, or will we have to go to post-game results? Come on, Mushroom, let's have a nice clean game and finish this off.
It's looking like it may be that way. Obviously, the Mega Knight has been pulled in by... There's now two Fishermen there. He's going to finish with the Zappies. The giant skeleton basically fronting all the damage. He's going to be able to soak it all up and finish off the Zappies. As the Graveyard goes down, the Freeze too, and they're going to do just enough damage, tapping away on that final skeleton, stabbing it with his sword. Is going to claim the victory for Mushroom. It's so cheeky to steal the deck, but, I mean, it works.
It works. It's a very interesting deck. You play extremely defensively with a giant skeleton, which is surprisingly common, given that it's a really feels like an aggressive card, but actually it's very defensive. And then you rely on a Graveyard and Freeze spell to keep you in it and just keep doing damage. Graveyard does a lot of damage if left ignored, and the Freeze spell can make it ignored even if it wasn't ignored.
Yeah, it's really... I mean, well... We saw why Will won with that deck in the second game, and then we just see why Mushroom won with it in the third one. And that's just... It's not much you can say about it. It's just a very, very cheeky deck. And as we saw, it did work out. It's his job, and it's so hard to counter. Exactly what we've said. Actually, very different from these balloon-centric decks that worked out for Mushroom in the first game. But well, we'll have to see if it can continue to work. The graveyard style, as obviously they are going to be going through in the lower bracket to play against JJ Legends, and we'll see if JJ Legends is going to in fact fall for that trick. It's very tricky to play against, but well, as you said, it's expensive and it leaves them vulnerable for a counter attack.
Oh yes, indeed. I'm enjoying the usual banter between the players as always over us calling it someone's deck when of course it's a relatively common top 20 win percent deck there, but it is very good, and that's why they keep using it, and we keep seeing it here. And yeah, you could still, it doesn't have to be your deck. You decided to use the deck or whatever. I'm not going to try to explain myself to the players. They understand what we're saying.
No, it's because I was saying Mushroom was cheeky for stealing it off Will, whereas in fact Will stole it off of Mushroom originally, and then Mushroom was just using his original deck, and Will's the cheeky one for stealing it originally. So apparently I'm wrong. I apologize, Mushroom, but either way, I mean, I'm sorry about the context. But,
It's let the players be the players. But yes, what we actually saw here was some really good games. Mushroom showed that he can be in control over Will, and often is, as we're very excited to see him go forward to the next round. It's going to be very interesting to see what goes next, as we will be entering our grand final very, very shortly, but not right after this very small break. See you then.
My shadows, they follow you like an accomplice. Lost all of your dreams, the night is heartless. My shadows, they follow you. My shadows, they follow you in the darkness. My shadows, they follow you like an accomplice. Lost all of your dreams, the night is heartless. My shadows, they follow you. My shadows, they follow you in the darkness.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Clash Royale Spring Season Week 6. And well, we're now at the lower/losers bracket final in the form of a match between JJ Legend and Mushroom, and whoever wins this is going to be going through to face off against SoProBro in a rematch in a best of 5, with SoProBro obviously having the one map advantage. And well, it's hopefully looking to be a good, well, 2 good games at least. And I am once again joined with my co-caster Dr. Watson. Hello again.
I think this is going to be a very good games coming up. We have JJ Legend, as we've seen a lot of tonight, and Mushroom, again, a fair bit. Both very experienced players, and the bans are in. JJ Legend has banned Graveyard, as we've seen in the last set of games, a very expected outcome. Now, Mushroom's bit the tiger here, I feel, and has banned Sparky against JJ Legend. JJ's signature card. I'm not sure what he's going to play now.
I love the talking in chat. I'm just... What's your ban? Sparky? No. I don't think JJ knows what he wants in chat, into play.
It's going to be interesting to see what he decides to pull. We have seen him play a few things. Double Giant, the Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton combo. But it will be interesting to see what he does as we roll in with Mushroom versus JJ in this losers final, as they both take a minute and sit on huge stacks of Elixir.
As per usual, no change there. But the Bandit is going to be dropped on the left side, neutralized by the Knight Witch, who's going to take her out and spawn a few bats and looks to perhaps try get some damage on the left side. But the Barbarian Barrel is going to be able to take her down. Bats mopped up by the Princess Tower. And nothing substantial so far. Once again, they're back to full Elixir and nobody is playing a thing.
No, but well played by JJ on that placement of Night Witch. Stopped the Bandit charge, which gave it its best shot of doing anything. I guess he had no elixir or not enough to put anything in front of. It's going to be interesting to see as we slowly move forward. The Electro Wizard at the back. I want to see what JJ's brought to this because, you know, without the Sparky, it's going to be interesting to see what he decides to go for. As Mushroom has brought the Ram Rider, which he's going to get nicely, or maybe not because of the stun mechanic. Taken out by the Lumberjack, who's actually not going to be able to do much at all. I always forget about the Ram Rider's stun boomerang. That's definitely why it's a legendary card. It is very impressive, that ability to basically shut units down.
It's so annoying. I hate it so much. Like the fact that if you get anything like a mini peck or whatever as a sort of a counter, and he's not directly in the middle able to hit her, then she just goes through just like that. The Lumberjack, he has to walk 2 steps. He can't get to her. Baby Dragon obviously can do the rage damage, but well, she gets the tower, does a lot of damage, and instead they're going for some big pushes now. Golem on the right at the back from JJ Legend, the Mega Knight on the right side from Mushroom, who's been doing a lot of damage to that tower. He gets the jump bonus damage. But JJ, well, he's going to be taking that the tower looking like it's going to go down. The Lumberjack finally dropped to try and take down that Mega Knight, realizing that he may just kill the tower. And, well, his push on the left side is going to go through. The tower just about stays alive, but the Golem pushing in, he's been doing a lot of damage with the Night Witch there to support him. The Bat's going to be taking down the Inferno Dragon, 6 in the air now, finishing her off, or the Dragon off, but well, almost. Electro Wizard is going to be neutralizing her. And, well, the Golem is still alive, doing a lot of damage to the tower. Fireball mopping up the Wall Breaker and the Mega Minion. But it's going to be so much damage on the tower. Even when he breaks, he may just take down this tower.
Indeed, it does look very good. But remember, Mushroom did get that very good right-hand push with the kind of free, almost, Mega Knight. But it's working. Golem decks often have to ignore the damage you're taking on the other side just to do it. As this Ram Rider is going to do work again as the Lumberjack. Oh, it's so painful to watch as he just slowly makes his way there. But here's another Golem on the right. It's going to get broken up by the Mega Knight, and the Inferno Dragon, if he's got nothing to do with it, should eat away very quickly. The Tornado says no, and this is looking pretty good on that right-hand side. It's not going to be as impressive as the first time, but if he can defend those towers for 10 seconds, JJ's going to win this. But that doesn't look good. Coming in. Is he going to be able to shut it down between the two of them? Oh, no!
Oh, my God, no. No, Mushroom, no!
Mushroom's not good enough! It's not enough, not a spell. Just, well, he'd already used the snowball. Oh, that's annoying. Almost taking that right-hand tower. And to be honest, that left-hand tower. And if he had, the right-hand tower would have probably immediately fallen. And JJ performing a Golem tactic there of just having to take the damage and making sure you get one and then defense. And, well, it paid off.
Yeah, Mushroom really dropped the ball there. He was so close. He was just dominating him, basically. As he said, he has to sustain the damage, but so much damage was sustained. That 79 HP on the left one and what, like 300 on the right side? He should have been all over him. Obviously, the Golem was just about defended against, but that was so close, and it really should have been Mushroom's game, in my opinion. And I think he's going to be annoyed, or maybe annoyed with himself after losing that there to JJ. And, well, JJ, can he take it in 2-0 fashion and go through to the final? We'll have to find out. He's bringing in something slightly different. Zappies this time as an Ice Wizard dropped my Mushroom. And, well, can he bring it in with a reverse sweep?
Well, he's going to have to. And JJ doing very well in that first game to almost sweep entirely, though he was about to lose. This is the thing about Golem decks. They really rely on that 3-minute timer. Actually launching your attack at the right time is important. But anyway, Mushroom is going to show some pretty impressive pushes here as we see JJ going for a card we've seen a fair bit of tonight, the Royal Recruits. Very good on defense, covering both sides for 7 elixir. It's expensive, but it works. And that Dark Prince isn't going to do much with the right-hand side push, looking relatively solid. Though that Goblin Cage will clean up nicely. You had to see a big pusher from Mushroom. I guess Dark Prince doesn't really count. It's more of a kind of support class in that support card in that respect. And JJ also on the more defensive. Though those Royal Recruits looking very nice. But all back and forward at the moment. No real big pushes through. A little bit on that right-hand tower against Mushroom. But apart from that, it's all pretty even at the moment.
I'm not sure if JJ's actually played this deck before, if it's just one that he has perhaps borrowed, not stolen, from Will or So Pro Bro. Which he did lose earlier on to So Pro Bro 2-0, and Tornado is going to bring in that Goblin Cage, and he's going to do a lot of, well, not a lot of damage. He's going to activate the King Tower, and that's definitely a helping hand. Not much damage done to Mushroom's towers, with the King Tower there to help him out. That may just be the winning factor if it does come down to it in the end, as the Electro Spirit isn't going to do much into the right side tower, and we're still wondering what, well, 2 cards Mushroom has, now 1, as he does drop the Electro Giant right at the back, looking to perhaps get a bit of a big attack coming through.
Well, we've seen this card do a lot of work in the last, in tonight and throughout this tournament, to be honest. We've seen it being very effective with that stun mechanic. If anything gets too close to it, it takes damage. The Tornado working very well with it.
Oh my god.
Let's look at that King Tower activation. Isn't that helpful against some decks, as the Electro Giant is just going to get taken down? The Lightning is going to reduce that chance, and that's a lot of hits in. It almost looked, it should have died before it made it, and instead it got loads of damage off on that left-hand tower, and looking very solid for Mushroom. JJ's going to need a push in. 20 seconds left before overtime. And the Royal Hogs, they're going to get nicely taken out by the classic counter that is the Goblin Cage. But yeah, very interesting to see that Electro Giant push through as much as it had. I'd already written it off, and
yeah,
then it still make progress.
That was the King Tower activation there, just helping out with the Royal Hogs, and yeah, he perfectly played that there against the JJ. I'm not sure if we'll get a replay of it, but the Tornado just pulling them all in, and then the I don't think it was a fireball. I'm not sure what it was, but obviously the stun mechanic from the Royal. Again, we see it, the Tornado coming in, the stuns from the Electro Giant doing so much consistent damage. The Baby Dragon as well doing the area of effect damage, and it's just so beautiful, so much damage. Basically, completely destroys any form of defense against the Electro Giant. I don't know if he's actually going to be able to get to the tower this time. So close. Can't actually get one hit off, but it's down to 500 HP. The Dark Prince on the right side is going to get taken down, but he's got options, and Mushroom, he's just not relenting, and he's not letting JJ get through.
Oh no, because he knows he can't. He needs to win every game from here on out, and it looks like this one is going to be his. If he can get another Giant in there, and to be honest, Lightning rotation, it's not really viable from the position he's in. I think he needs 3 more, but it might come down to it, given that we've still got a minute left. These Baby Dragon is doing so much work. JJ has a lot of clumped up units, the Hogs and the Recruits, and the Baby Dragon can just take it all out and basically not take any damage. As another Lightning goes down, I think it's only 1 away, and the Baby Dragon, going to get stopped from being able to clean it up on its own. But yeah, Lightning and Tornado could do this for Mushroom if he wants to play it nasty with spells.
Honestly, Mushroom has the perfect deck to counter the Zappies, counter the Royal Recruits. He's got the Dark Prince, he's got the Baby Dragon, he's got the Tornado, as we see there. And, well, that final Lightning coming through. It strikes the tower, takes him down, and Mushroom in definitely controlling that game. And he is going to take it through to that final map, and it's anyone's game at this point.
Oh, indeed it is. Electro Wizard very much showing its strength there for Mushroom. You know, I thought it was out. You probably thought it was out. Pretty sure everyone at home thought it was out. It was on a sliver of health. But the Lightning came in, added a load of stun mechanics to that, and it just... the tower couldn't finish it off, and it just was able to get so much damage off. And then Lightning rotation, because it's guaranteed damage. Big spells. They're dangerous.
Oh, they certainly are. And, well, when I don't know if Mushroom's been practicing with the Electro Giant, but that's just... you never would have thought it. Just the Tornado, obviously a little bit of damage, pulls them all into one area. The Electro Giant zaps, just doing a lot of consistent area damage. And the Baby Dragon behind him, just constantly barraging away with him, at him with the fireballs. It stops any form of a defense against it. Royal Recruits couldn't do anything. And we'll have to see if Mushroom, he's fancying a similar sort of deck, or if he's going to be trying something different. And immediately, he does say something different as he drops the Miner down to the Princess Tower, takes down the Ice Wizard. And, well, he's going to be bringing out archers. We saw Will ban him earlier, so maybe Mushroom's got something up his sleeve with some quite vanilla 3 elixir cards.
Well, if nothing else, you could split them at the back and they make any sort of push slightly harder to do. And he's just going to spell rotate with a lot of spam from the looks of things. Mushroom showing a very low elixir deck. JJ has only put down 1 card as we nearly come to the end of the first minute. There it is. Royal Recruits go down. And they were going to act as a good defense card against whatever Mushroom's pushing. But I don't know how much he's going to be pushing with. He must have something in those last 2 cards we're looking for. Well, yeah, Legends barely played a card.
Yeah, he's really... I honestly wondered, maybe made me think if he disconnected at some point. He was just sitting there immobile. But now, well, we're seeing a bit of life from him. As you said, he does drop the Royal Recruits. They're going to get taken down relatively easy. The Hunter and the Archers combined, both completely neutralizing any form of a defense. And, well, the Tornado, that's going to come out. And that's going to activate the King Tower. Well, in favor of JJ this time. And, well, perhaps Mushroom's getting a bit of a taste of his own medicine as he does drop a Knight and a Balloon to come in and try and do as much damage as he can. Lightning's going to go out, do a lot of damage, but not quite take it down. Ice Wizard's going to slow the defense. And, well, he won't quite get to the tower, but the bomb will, and do a little bit of damage. And that may, 200 HP may be the crucial factor, but we'll have to see.
True, but at least he did stop any of the other bombs, those actual attack bombs, doing a lot more damage than the Def one, as the activated King Tower is going to massively reduce the effectiveness of the Miner. It's one of those cards that's really affected by it, that and the Goblin Bow. As we enter double elixir, and we see the Dark Knight charge in, it's going to get nicely taken out by these well-split archers. Still really waiting for what JJ has up his sleeve as his big push. I guess the Recruits are kind of, but 2 cards left to show. Mushroom relying on that Balloon. Let's hope JJ doesn't decide to fireball it like we saw earlier.
Yeah.
As we see these pushes come in now on both sides, both in different directions.
Well, the archers at the back sitting there chipping away, doing a lot of damage along with the Princess Tower combined. And then, like, at the front, just soaking up all the damage is once again Mushroom. He's going to be going for a bit of attack. Drops the balloon on the right side, but in the meantime, JJ, he's dropped the Electro Giant, on the left side. He's going to be going for a bit of a attack of his own as he does lightning the balloon. Takes him down, bomb goes off. Archers do a bit of damage, but nothing too substantial. As the bomb tower, last card of Mushroom, is going to go down. Hopefully try to take away from the Electro Giant as the Hunter, the Miner, and the Knight all combined are going to be chipping away, trying to do as much damage as they can, and they are going to take him out. Baby Dragon, still alive, finishes off the Hunter, but the Archers and, well, the Balloon now soaking up damage are going to be able to mop up the attack on the left side of Mushroom. He's certainly looking in control here.
Indeed. JJ Legend needs to get a big counter push in, as well as deal with everything that's coming. That balloon is going to connect. One hit to the tower and the death bomb. It's looking very strong for Mushroom. Can probably get away with Miner, Log, and Snowball just slowly chipping away to get this before overtime ends. But if nothing else, if it does end, it's very much in his favor, as the Miner doesn't quite finish it off, that Dark Knight getting in. And now JJ has to do everything while Mushroom just needs to log. And I think this is going to be Mushrooms.
Yeah, Lightning going out is going to be trying to neutralize it, but the log, it's already out, it's already down, and it's already taking down JJ's tower. Mushroom, as I've said multiple times, in full control of that game and just looking very confident. And I don't know quite what to say, because he's been slightly wobbly the last few weeks. He's been saying, oh, I'll be using meme decks, I'll have a laugh, it's fine. But it seems this week he's been here to play, and certainly in a 2-1 fashion. Obviously, the first game he did lose, but the last two certainly looking a lot better. And so Probro obviously did beat him earlier on in the tournament 2-0, but I mean, Mushroom's going to give him a challenge once again. I hope he's going to give him a challenge, and it's hopefully going to be looking good.
Well, I'm pretty sure he will. So that's JJ coming in third for the tournament, and very impressive coming out again with third, second, and a third from him. Slightly depressed he didn't get first, just so he got 3-2-1 on the scoreboards. That would have looked quite nice. But instead, we will have Mushroom and Sober. We'll have a look at these replays. Yeah, that first game was slightly one-sided, if I recall. Well, not quite. It could have gone either way. Just time happened to fall in JJ's favor.
Yeah, Mushroom really he dropped the ball, and that was so close. If he would have dropped the Ram Rider on the right side, because if you look at the damage, he did just get one hit off. There we go, down to 100 HP, the Snowball as well. If he dropped it on the right side, he would have taken down that tower, put something else on the left side later on. That time would have just helped him out. He would have won the first match. He would have won it in 2-0 fashion. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. But either way, he does come back to win it 2-1. And, well, as we saw in this match, it was slightly stronger from Mushroom, as he was just sitting there holding the line, not letting the Royal Hogs get through, and eventually, as you see, the Lightning comes through, the Strike does finish it off, and, well, in this one, it was all about the balloon play. It worked against Will, it worked against JJ. Let's see if it can work against Probro.
Indeed, Mushroom showed his ability to control the game. That's one of his strongest strengths here. That's one of his strengths here at the Mule. He's very good at that, and both of the final two games especially showed that to perfection. And that's why he's one of the best. And taking out JJ here in a pretty, well, the final game in a pretty unimpressive manner. But like we said in the second game, spells, they do damage.
Yeah, they really do. And we certainly saw the rear end of those doing a lot onto the towers. Obviously, the Snowball and Log, not too much, but it's enough if they keep on going down. Like, he's not just wasting, I'll just use 2 Elixir Log on the tower. He drops them, takes down, like, all the Royal Recruit's shields, and does damage to the tower. And, I mean, well, the Log was perfectly placed. You said earlier on that it's in the meta, it's so useful. It has the pushback, it has the damage, and against Royal Recruits, it's the perfect card. And, well, we're not going to see that this time, as the bans have come through. So, Probro, he does ban the Tornado, so perhaps not quite fancying the play style that it comes with. And Mushroom, he's banning the Recruits, so, that's very high there. He's banning the Recruits, and we'll have to see, perhaps not fancying the challenge.
Well, we've seen Tornado being used in a lot of different ways in this tonight. We've seen it for King Tower activation and bringing everything together for Electro Wizards, Electro Giants, and Baby Dragons to clean up. So Tornado being banned says to me Soper is planning to bring the Splashies and possibly Goblin Barrel or Miner. Well, either way or all, but I'm expecting a lot of very cheap cards out of Sober. Mushroom banning Recruits, doesn't want to deal with those split end pushes. We've seen how defensive they can be. You put 7 Elixir at the back and the enemy isn't getting through anytime soon without something huge. So maybe he's also playing something relatively lightweight and fast. If so, we're going to see some amazing few games as we roll in to the grand finals of this week.
Not quite the grand finals, but it is a best of 5. But as I did say earlier, So Probo, he has been undefeated tonight, and he has come through the upper bracket, so he does have a map advantage. And well, you said that So Probo may have been playing as some sort of Goblin Barrel deck, which he banning the Tornado, and Mushroom, well, he perhaps is thinking that too, playing him at his own game, as he does drop a Goblin Barrel of his own, throws that across, doesn't really do much damage, and well, the Snowball and Zappies, they are going to be making quick use of it, as he does drop the Fisherman at the back. You've seen them used not too much tonight, but efficiently enough, I would definitely say.
Indeed, indeed. This push from Mushroom is going to get very shortly shut down, just going to be simply dealt with, as we see the very defensive giant that is the giant skeleton go in, but it is still aggressive in the right situation, with a Fisherman dragging everything towards it. Could be interesting. And there is a graveyard.
Oh no.
So, bro, we've seen how powerful this could be. The question is, has he packed a freeze? It doesn't look like it if he does, but the Dark Goblin is going to do an amazing job of shutting it down. One of its main features. I love the Dark Goblin personally.
So good.
As we see another barrel go in, and it does get a fair few hits in, as well as the Dark Goblin. But Sobro with a... Oh no! Sobro just losing that lead there thanks to the Dark Goblin. And Mushroom with a very slight lead on that left-hand side of the field. Fisherman's going to clean up nicely here. Oh, not quite. The Princess is going to stay alive.
Ooh.
And a bit more damage. This is going to be very interesting to watch how this ends.
Yeah, that anchor just getting cut out mid-shot by the Princess Tower and the Princess. And, well, she's going to get finished by the Zappies, but she does get a few more hits on that right side of the tower. So now Mushroom, he's leading in terms of HP on both towers, higher than both of his own. And we'll have to see quite what he can bring out. As you said, the Dark Goblin, very versatile, very good against the Graveyard, just from the very quick hit speed, or shoot speed. And the Prince, we've not seen a lot of, but it's very good counter, I guess, to the Giant Skeleton. And he's obviously lower in terms of elixir. He's only 5 compared to 6. But he does so much damage, especially with that added extra charge damage, as he's going to be finding that in and should be able to take him down and neutralize that Giant Skeleton on that side of the map. The bomb should go off, but he's still alive and, well, can't... I think... Actually, did he get a hit onto the tower there?
I'm pretty sure he didn't. Maybe he got one. I was slightly looking at the bottom right side, checking that Hunter wasn't about to connect. But the Fisherman doing a lot of work there either way, as Mushroom goes full in on the left-hand side with a classic loggable attack, but it hasn't got one, so you might as well go through it, as we see a fair bit taking place. Those Spear Goblins allowed to do some work. That right-hand side looks like it's going to be cleaned up nicely between the Princess and everything else going on there, as we see 2 giant skeletons on either bridge.
No.
That's a scary thing to see. They've both got to be shut down. Right-hand side goes down quickly, and here comes yet another graveyard. But the Dark Goblin there should clean it up nicely. Mushroom's still looking pretty good. There's the freeze, and the skeletons are building up. The log will clean it out, and he's not really got enough for a push thanks to that final bomb. And well, that freeze has leveled up the playing field very nicely.
That's certainly one way to put it. Down to 800 HP on that tower now. So close. Obviously, Soboro, he has that one, his own one on 710. And, well, Mushroom is going to be giving it another go. The Goblins go in, but they can't quite do much. They don't get a single hit off the Snowball, and the Fisherman can be able to neutralize that. And, well, now, Soboro, he's in the lead. Prince doing a lot of damage to the Giant Skeleton, but the Zappies, along with the Skeletons, trying to distract it. Doesn't quite work. He's going to take down the Giant Skeleton in the end, and, well, immediately... So Probro, he's going to be dropping another one. We'll have to see quite what he can do, as the Snowball is going to take down, or almost take down, the Goblins. They're going to get one hit off as the Graveyard comes back out. And, well, is he going to be bringing out the freeze? It does go down, and the Skeletons are going to be chowing away at that tower, chipping away at the tower. The log does clean them up. He maintains the HP lead, but there's 3 Princesses on the field, and they're doing a lot of damage in the meantime, as, well, down to 259, and Mushroom, he just about takes it back, and the rocket comes out the last card. He pulls it out of his pocket, out of nowhere. And he does take the map victory. What is that? That's unbelievable, Mushroom. You are such a cheeky lad. I can't believe you. He's so cheeky. I can't believe it.
That is a cheeky rocket, as we like to say, keeping it right until it's worth it. I mean, you don't use the rocket unless you feel it's worth it. Obviously, it's a big investment to put down. The enemy can see it coming, and you have to get your timing right because it's so small. But that was, yeah. You think he's playing a really light chip deck, and he's like, oh, he's going to have to try and finish me off with Goblin Barrel or something. But it's just like, no. What if I just hit you with the Clash Royale big boy that is the rocket? Though, very well played from Sobro there. Looked like he was going to have it with the classic Graveyard Freeze combo, doing extremely well. But yeah, last minute rockets be like that.
Yeah, they do be like that. And I don't think... nobody expected that. I didn't even realise that he still had 1 card left. That was like, what, 1 minute left of overtime, right? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. It was
his last card.
Yeah, but that's the point of carrying a rocket on one of those log bait decks. You carry it so that at that moment, when you know the game is won, that all you have to do is do this, is you defend it out, get the elixir, and then GG. It's nasty. It's nasty, but then, you know, Spells have been winning it all night. Why not go for it now?
I mean, usually, like, normally my play style is obviously if they drop a wizard at the back or something that you can sort of combine it with, so you do damage onto the tower and take down that unit is roughly sort of an equivalent elixir amount. But he didn't do that at all, and that genuinely caught, I guess, everyone off by surprise. And well, now we do get into the second match, as we'll have to see if Mushroom can get another very cheeky victory, or if so, Probro, if he can establish dominance and actually go through and take this victory back. Obviously, level playing field now, and it is a best of 5, so you're going to win 2 now. And it's looking a relatively similar deck from Mushroom, the Princess, the Goblin Barrel, but as I say that, he does drop a Hidden Chestler, who's hasn't seen a lot of use, but, well, a very versatile and very useful card.
Well, we see this a lot with either the Mortar or the Expo. Normally the Expo is seen as a slightly better card, which would be interesting to see here. We don't see it very often, but it doesn't look likely. I mean, it's possible, actually, with the very cheap deck we're seeing, that something heavy like that. The Princess is going to do a nice job of cleaning up this Giant Skeleton, as we see yet another Giant Skeleton come from Sobro. I guess the Tesla Tower is also very good against the Giant Skeleton, as it will vanish before that bomb goes off. Though often if there's something behind it, that doesn't make much of a difference. As a little bit of damage is done to the left-hand tower for Mushroom, but not much in return. It's all still pretty stalematey at the moment, as we mostly just learn what everyone's decided to bring to this game.
Yeah, it's certainly a period of discovery, put it one way. As not much damage is done at all. Slappies and Hunter going to get taken down. Hunter obviously shooting one shot to the tower, but obviously not too far, not quite far away, not too close. Doesn't do much damage. Knight is going to be soaking up a lot of damage from the tower and the Fisherman as well. And the Goblins, they will be able to, the Goblin Barrel, going to be able to do a lot of damage onto that tower. Finally, something's broken through, and that's very well played. Very simple tactic, but as we see, very effective from Mushroom. Able to get that damage across, and he will take down the Giant Skeleton with that Hidden Tesla and the Ice Spirit combined, and in a very comfortable position.
This deck feels very familiar to me. It's the kind of thing I would play with from Mushroom here. We're seeing the Goblin Barrel being the win condition, kind of having to rely on it to do some work and just consistently do a bit, which it is. That left-hand tower looking weaker by the second for Sobro. Mushroom looking pretty strong. Tesla tactics is a good defense. I want to know what his last two. Both players still sitting on 2 cards. We'll look at the surprise rockets, as there's the graveyard. We could expect a freeze to possibly come with it. I don't know if it will, though. Yes, it does! Princess should do a nice job cleaning out with the log. That graveyard shut down relatively well, all things considered. Now we just have 1 card left for Mushroom. Has he decided to pack the rocket again? Or has he brought something else to try and end this with?
It wouldn't surprise me at all if he did, if he was playing that style. And he's definitely adjusted his play style for the graveyard this time. He's always got the Hidden Tesla, he's got the Goblin Gang, he's got the Princesses in the distance trying to do enough chip damage. And well, it looks like he's currently winning with it. As his lowest HP tower, 2k, he's definitely dominating Probro, who's only on 1k at the moment. The Fisherman going to be pulled towards the Tesla, taken down by the Princess, and the Hunter can't actually take down the Princess himself, as Mushroom, he's just going for the chip damage. He's going to drop down the Princess on the bridge. She gets 1 shot off. The Goblin Barrel going to be doing a lot of damage as well. And, well, there you go. You called it. And the Rocket is the final card to come out. And the history repeats itself as he does finish off that tower. Not so close this time, but, well, it worked.
Yes, Mushroom bringing a very similar deck again. It was slightly different. There were some card variations. He brought the Hidden Tesla, which is extremely good. I'm pretty sure I've ran that deck at some point in the last month or so, but not really expected from Sobro. He didn't kind of think he would run the same thing again, it felt. I don't know if there was a true counter to those Goblin Barrels. I guess the Snowball works, but they still get a stab off. But very, very good to watch there. Mushroom, yeah, looking strong, looking strong.
That's definitely one way to put it. And the thing is, the Goblin Barrel, they're very, like you said, there's not quite counter with the Snowball, with the Zap as well. Barbarian Barrel and Log, pretty much the only way to complete, or Arrows, to completely take them out. And there we go. So Probro, he's learnt his lesson. He's got the Log, and he's going to be using it to take down that Goblin Barrel, having absolutely no nonsense this time. The question is, it does... what?
Oh, no, I was about to say, indeed. It looks like they're both bringing very similar light decks here, which would be the best way to deal with this. Mushroom doesn't look like he's changed it up yet, but Sobro has definitely gone for something very different.
Yeah, he's looking to try getting on that chip action, as he does have a Miner, have the Bats, and very low elixir card. The Log once again going out, neutralizing the Goblin Barrel, and he's just having none of it. And, well, Mushroom, he's having a very hard time trying to get damage. As Probro, he's going to be bringing out the Wall Breakers, but they are once again neutralized by the Hidden Tesla. That Mushroom's brought out, and it gets a bit of damage from the spear going onto the tower, but well, nothing too significant as of yet.
seems to be complaining among the players about not using the same decks again. Well, Soberbro doesn't like to always keep his word, especially when he's losing. Knowing very well that Mushroom only has to win this to take the game, we can assume that last card that Mushroom's sitting on will be his Rocket. Now, the interesting thing about this strategy is it means he only can ever have 3 cards to play at once, because the Rocket is sitting in in his options right now, and he can't play it unless he gets a really good option. 2. Soberbro, on the other hand, doesn't have that same restrictions as the wall breakers come flying in, but the log is going to clean them up very nicely. Bomb Tower's going to do a fair bit of work here, stopping anything getting across that bridge until it goes down.
Which is right now as well. Mushroom going for a slightly different tactic, and he's throwing the Goblin Barrel slightly further. Paints out the log, who does take up 2 of the Goblins, but there's the final one does get 1 little stab onto the tower, but nothing too significant. As a Knight's down, countered by a Knight, should get pretty evenly dealt with the obviously with the assistance of the Princess Tower. And at this point, we've still got a minute left. Now double elixir. Not quite sure who can take this. It could go anywhere at the moment. Mushroom obviously only needs 1 more to take this, and so Soberbro obviously take it to a final map is going to need this victory, and he's certainly intending on taking it that way. Obviously, the Fireball, the Bats, and the Mine are all going in, doing a lot of damage into that right side tower. Princess is going to be just about cleaning it up, and the Knight, well, he's going to be going in as the Rocket. The final card's going to go through. Perhaps a bit of a waste as it does damage. The Goblin's going to join it, but the Log completely takes them down in a neutralizing fashion. And, well, that does open it up. So Soberbro's counter-offensive. The Wall Breaker's coming down. The Knight as well. And it does a bit of damage, but nothing, again, too significant. Can't quite break through, but he does maintain that HP advantage.
Well, Mushroom knows now, especially with double elixir, he can somewhat cycle Rocket to just chip away, because as long as he keeps doing more damage in these last 3 minutes, he's got a chance. However, the Fireball Miner will continuously do more for slightly more expensive, but for more damage is well played. Comes down. It's not over yet. We have a good, going into sudden death, good lead on Soberbro's side. This could be very good. As yet another Rocket flies over with the barrel backing it up. It all gets logged away, and now, well, Mushroom's not on no on elixir, because of course double elixir is keeping him in this. Soberbro needs a good hit, and this could be it with a minor Fireball. It's going back and forth between these 2 cards. Basically, we're seeing Mushroom's Rocket, and then minor Fireball from Soberbro, and then a bit in between.
But the thing is, obviously, the Rocket does damage, but it's so expensive. And you've seen the Goblin in the barrel. He keeps on going at long distance, but Soberbro, he's learned his lesson. Look at that. The log comes in, completely wipes them out, cleans them up. They don't get a single hit onto the tower. And Mushroom, he's not quite found the counter as of yet, as I say that, for the cards that Soberbro is using. And he is going to spice it up a bit. He's going to do the mine on the other side. The Fireball comes in. There's a lot more damage, but can't quite take it down as of yet. The Wall Breaker's got completely taken down by the log. And, well, the left side now is the choice of attack for Mushroom. Gets it down to 1,000 HP. The Princess continuously doing damage to it, but it's still not low. And with the Fireball and log coming in, Soberbro, he is going to take down that tower, and he is going to take it to a final match. 2-2. We are going all the way tonight. We are going all the way indeed. Soberbro deciding that, if Mushroom's going to play dirty and cheap, then I'm going to play dirty and cheap and make sure I use a good range of spells. Log and Fireball, consistently good spells. So a lot of the barrel being thrown around. It's a very interesting game. The Miner playing a very important role there for Soberbro as we go into 2 games apiece. This epic climactic final. I'm very interested to see what happens and what deck they will decide to bring. Yeah, we've certainly seen a large variety. Perhaps not too much from Mushroom. Obviously sticking with that basic Goblin Barrel rotation and obviously the Rocket. So we'll have to see if he does spice it up and bring in something different. If he just go back to the obviously what worked against Will, the Graveyard and Freeze deck, or if he's going with something completely different, maybe pick up something like JJ's had with a Sparky, something. Who knows? And well, we're gonna find out soon as we do get into the final map and final match in the grand finals of this week, week 6. Soberbro versus Mushroom. Well, let's get hyper indeed, as Mushroom throws down that bandit in an attempt to get some damage off. Nicely cleaned up by the skeletons, which has been poisoned out. All going back and forth very well at the moment. Soberbro looking like a log bait deck, or a barrel bait deck in this case, as we saw the Princess, and then we saw the Goblin Barrel. Mushroom definitely bringing a lot of stuff to deal with that kind of thing with both of the Barrel and the Snowball. It's going to do very well on that front as the bandit gets taken out by the Electric Wizard. All back and forward at the moment, as always in this early stages. No one's even connected a single hit in yet. It all takes a while, apart from a little bit on the right-hand tower there. It's all back and forward. Ooh, that skeleton timing was perfect. The bandit dash almost able to take down the Princess, but the skeletons just in time take up that damage. Cannon Cart going down, but the Mega Knight coming down to counter it. Barbarian Barrel, perfect to take down that Goblin Barrel. Well played from Mushroom as the cannon cart is being very stubborn, not quite dying. Takes the Mega Knight down to half HP. He's going to continue to push through, but jumping up, well, distracted by the bandit, doesn't quite kill her. But, well, she's just about alive, but she probably should get taken down by the Princess Tower, and once again, no damage is done.
Well, that was an extremely well dealt with half-health Mega Knight with backup from Super Pro. The Bandit, not a card you'd normally expect to be able to deal with it, but by good placement and the Princess's position, was a lot of extra damage going on there. And then the Skeletons also able to clean up. As we see the wall breakers quickly thrown at the wall with a Goblin Barrel behind. Snowball's going to deal with the barrel. Wizard's going to deal with the wall breakers. And the Bandit is going to have a fun time getting past that Electro Wizard. And it's a Bandit duel.
I love that.
I love it.
Nothing.
They just stop and they're like, oh, hi there. And then they start hitting each other. It's quite funny to watch. You're going to use these Skeletons to massive effect, Sofa Bro. As we see Mushroom put down an Inferno Dragon kind of in front of nothing, almost on its own, and then decides to put the Mega Knight on the right-hand tower. So I guess he has got to do with 2 waves of things, but if Sofa Bro's got anything air-based, should be fine, or doesn't even have to bother as the Inferno Dragon goes down. Let's see if this Mega Knight could do anything with the Ram Rider behind it. Ram Rider stun mechanic. The charge hits. This is a lot of damage coming on the right-hand side. That was our first major push, and Sobro is not looking better for it as we go 30 seconds until overtime.
Yeah, that was perfect from Mushroom. The poison just takes down the cannon, or doesn't take him down, but puts him off his wheels and back onto the floor. He can't attack. The Mega Knight, which is taking all the damage, especially from the Hunter. The Ram Rider able to slip through just through the gap and do the damage as the second push comes in from Sopobro, but it's not, once again, it's just not working. The Goblin Barrel taken down by the Barbarian Barrel, the Snowball taking down those wall breakers, and he's just hitting a brick wall. At this point, Mushroom, he could just defend and try his luck, holding it and waiting for the next 2 minutes, but he's going to be pushing on the left side instead this time, as the Bandit on the right side is going to try to get up with dash damage, but Electro Wizard is going to take it down. And the left side push, the Ram Rider does get to the tower, but she can't quite do enough damage, nothing too substantial. As the counter-offensive does come in from Sober Bro, as the Mega Knight is going to take down the wall breakers, but the Bandit dash and the Goblins, they're going to get to the tower. They're going to do a lot of damage, almost equalizing the damage, but they are taken down, and, well, just in the lead is Mushroom.
And here is this Inferno Dragon. It has connected. It's going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Is it going to take it down? Probably. No, it is! Inferno Dragon doesn't stop doing damage. And Mushroom takes it with a badly defended Inferno Dragon there from Sobro. That's not the tower we thought that was going to go, was it?
Not like this, honestly. He had the Ram Rider, he had the Mega Knight, they're all going through doing all that damage, and then in the counter-offensive, the Bandit, the Wall Breakers, the Goblin Barrel, all sitting there doing so much damage to the tower, and in the end, what destroys it is the Inferno Dragon. He just sits there going, yeah, cool, hurry up, okay, game's over, done, nice. What? I mean, I did not expect that, and, well, Mushroom, I don't know if he did it either, but, well, it worked out, as we do get the replays, which is the first map. It did go the way of Mushroom, just about staying alive. So very close. That graveyard freeze just not quite working out. And hopefully mopped up with a log and I'm pretty sure it went. But yeah, the Princess in the end is doing a lot of chip damage and the rocket was the final thing to finish it off.
Yeah, the first of his many surprise rockets of this set. They were good fun, weren't they? His surprise rockets from Mushroom. He knows how to play it where it is. But yes, we saw a lot of Graveyard Freeze and Graveyard Freeze being taken out very nicely. It was kind of becoming expected. As we go into the second game with the Tesla deck and even more surprise rockets. But this, on the other hand, was Sobro's to take back. If I'm correct? Yes, no, it wasn't. It's been a long set of many games. Again, with yet another rocket at the back and Goblin Barrels galore. It was very impressive from Mushroom. So impressive that they're all merging into one. The fights. This was Sobro's game with the chip damaging Miner and the fight between Fireball Miner and Rocket. Of course it was. And the Fireball Log finishing it off at the end because, you know, spell damage do be good. Yes,
they do be good indeed. Yeah, and, well, the Super Bro, despite winning that one, it was, again, very close. There was so much damage split across his own towers. If you look at that, they're both under 1,000 HP. And, well, Mushroom could have taken that, definitely, but in the end, he didn't need to. He did lose that one. He conceded it, but he won the fourth match and did eventually take the Grand Finals victory, as you see on the left side, the Mega Knight pushing through, a lot of damage onto the right side, but the Inferno Dragon, he just flies across there, and he's like, you know, I'm having a swell time, starts damaging away, and then by the time Super realizes, it's just way too late, the tower's down, and that's a victory for Mushroom, and you know what, that's his third victory, I think third in a row, yeah, not third in a row, but it is his third first place finish in this season, and, well, very unlucky for Super Bro. but it could have gone his way. It's not dominance from Mushroom at all.
Very, very true indeed. Very true indeed. So Bro definitely showed some real games in there, real pushes back. But Mushroom, he took control. And really, that final game came down to a mistake from So Bro, or was it a lack of elixir? I should have really checked on the replay there. Someone could catch me up on that one. But it was very impressive to see So Bro doing extremely well to keep in that. And a second from So Bro is still very good. It's going to keep in a very healthy position overall. As we look with the scores coming in, Mushroom still in the lead. Well, now in the lead. Even with 1,820 points. Super Bro in second. Chocoholic is holding third with Will in fourth. JJ Legend now moving up to fifth. So, still all going very well. JJ Legend probably not pushing up as much as you'd hope he would have done. A lot of people did better than him, but third is still very impressive. And Mushroom, our overall leader at the moment.
Yeah, well, you still have we've still got 1 week left in terms of points, but not. It's only 1 week. It's enough to sort of make a difference, but like not enough to have a substantial difference. And perhaps JJ will overtake Will in terms of points. Actually, I'm not sure. 500 points is a very big difference, very big gap. Whether the top of the leaderboard will switch around, we'll have to find out. Obviously, Chocoholic did start off this season very strong, first, second, but has sort of fallen off since then. So maybe he's just on a downward trend. Maybe he'll come back into it next week. Maybe he'll just show up in the finals. Who knows? It's definitely a roller coaster of a ride here. It's been a roller coaster of a night. Some fantastic games we've seen, and it's been fantastic. Yeah, it's really been fantastic.
It has been a great night. I hope you have all enjoyed it as much as we have. We've got to once again thank our sponsors, Unite Student and Logitech G, as well as Twitch Student, for making these epic and amazing plays possible. Epic, what is this, the early 2010s? Anyway, if you don't know, check out the Newell on Twitter and Discord. Even if you're not a university student yet, you are more than welcome to join and meet other Clash Royale players. And who knows, maybe you could join us in a year or a season to come. Tomorrow, we will have CSGO at 7:45, and then we will be back next week for the final week of, as well as, there's more stuff in between as well as CSGO, but check that out here on the Twitch channel. League of Legends, many great games and many great casters and players. But we, of course, for Clash Royale will be back next week for some amazing plays as well with Counterfeit and Rook. Next week's the final week before the playoffs. You excited, Ant?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's gonna be very good. And next week it should be good. But it certainly, as I said, is CBL on a downward trend? We'll have to find out. And next week is certainly a precursor towards the playoffs in 2 weeks' time. And it's heating up. It's looking very spicy, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, we are going to be raiding Vixie now, I believe, who's streaming League of Legends. And it's been thank you for watching from me and Julio, and I've been joined by Dr. Watson, and it's been a fantastic night.
It has been.